Greetings, fellow Empyreans. This is Ashterothi, and this is my formal introduction to my YouTube channel. I've posted a few videos so far, mostly tests on Singularity and whatnot, just kind of to see how things are going, and people seem to like the fact that I'm making these videos, and so I figured that I'd make it a real thing. I did some work to make sure that the YouTube channel looked at least halfway presentable, and got myself a new introduction thanks to General Stargazer, who actually made that introduction a while ago, but I've never found a use for it. So now we're going to use this for a lot of the stuff, and I'm really excited about where we're going to go. So about 2 years ago, just under 2 years ago now, Lockfox, Viridian, and myself created a Hydrostatic podcast, which has been an incredible journey. Prior to that, and still today, I'm on Hydrag, which is a wonderful podcast to be part of, and really got me out of my shell. And I really see this as just another step, not the next step, just another step, another way for me to be able to talk about this game that I love so freaking much. So I had some plans for this channel, and I'm definitely looking for suggestions and ideas. As you can see right now, I am in CVA space in Providence, and actually I am a member of CVA at the moment. I'm not quite sure whether or not that's a permanent position for me. It's tough to predict the future, but I will tell you a little story about why I'm here. So when I first joined this game, which was, July of 2010, within less than a month of playing, my friends sucked me into this nullsec organization called Ashterothi XX, which was in Providence, because this was during the time that CVA had been kicked out of Providence, and I didn't know anything, and I had less than 1 million skill points, so it was just a miserable experience. It was so bad, and within I think about 2 months or so, we got evicted out, and it was just miserable. So I swore off nullsec, actually went to highsec, started doing mission running, which is where I eventually met Marcel Devereaux, joined Adaron Robotics, and really started to get into the game. So recently, I've been talking a lot about nullsec, in particularly Sov null, and because I'm a programmer, and I like to consider myself a game designer. So I like to look at the systems of the games and try to understand them, and try to work out what is working and what is not. And so I comment about the design goals of nullsec. And a lot of people say that I'm not qualified to say such things because I've never done sovereignty null. And in a way, they're right. It's one thing to see things on paper. It's another thing to see things for themselves. And so I decided to go ahead and check out nullsec again, the thing that I had sworn I'd never go back to. So here I am, and obviously Providence is not the best example of Sov null. It's not. I mean, since it got burned and kind of left, it's a pretty stable space as far as null goes. But I really wanted to come back here because, in essence, it's conquering my first home. And in fact, the reason why I'm sitting here in this Abaddon right here is not only because this is one of my favorite looking ships in the game. This was the first ship that I ever really fell in love with. But I think now that I have literally 100 times the skill points that I had when I first used it, I can actually see what it was meant to do and test it and give it the fair shot. And as you can see, it's really working. Hold on, I've got a fighter getting chewed up. Although I don't think it's actually getting chewed up anymore now that all of the cruisers are destroyed. So anyway, so yeah, this is what I'm doing, and this is why I'm here. But this is not what my plan is for the long run. I definitely don't want to show you guys a bunch of ratting videos. This is just a good backdrop for me to discuss kind of my plans going forward. Hold on, let me get rid of that. So, what do I want to do? Well, the goal that I have is to make sure that every single person in EVE has every chance to be successful. I love this damn game, and I think that it needs every single person that's willing to play it. It doesn't matter if you're a miner, it doesn't matter if you're a ratter, it doesn't matter if you're a PvPer, it doesn't matter if you're code. You know, the game is designed to deal with all of us, because, you know, it's just like the real world, right? Like, the world is designed to deal with all of us. So I believe that one of the biggest barriers to entry to the game is that it's very difficult to understand it. And I think that that's actually really unfortunate. I would much rather opponents and allies that are well informed and know what they're doing than those who don't. If I'm playing chess, I want to play against people who understand the rules. I don't want to do an impasse against somebody and then, you know, win because they didn't know that move was possible. That's just lame. I don't want to win because somebody doesn't understand the mechanics of station games. That's dumb. So I have long since committed myself to kind of putting EVE into context for everyone. So to that effect, you know, that's one of my goals for Hydrostatic. It's always been one of my goals for my place in Hydrag, for my articles that I write for Crossing Zebras, or Zebras, whatever. You know, I even got into the lore originally because, you know, it's just another aspect of the game that people don't really understand. So, and I didn't understand either. And I don't like not understanding things. So, at any rate, what are we going to do here? What we're going to do is kind of try to figure out a way to kind of break down the game in a way that I can't necessarily do in the podcasts. For example, a while back, we had an episode that was about exploration, and as it turns out, I was the only one on the panel that knew anything about exploration, and since I am the interviewer, that was really unfortunate because having me be the one asking the questions and being the only one that knows the answer to them makes a very, very boring segment. It was so boring that we actually cut the entire thing whole cloth and tried again later when we had somebody else who could be the knowledgeable person, so to speak. But I hope to use this opportunity to kind of impart knowledge to you guys, to explore things, maybe show some of the ridiculous stuff that I do, maybe compel me to do ridiculous stuff. That'd be kind of cool. I'm deeply inspired by Johnny Pugh and Chance and other YouTubers, and you know, here we go. Let's give it a shot. One of the biggest things that I want to do is a Let's Play. So what my goal is to just create a brand new character, transfer no money to it whatsoever, and just start from scratch. And the goal of it is not to entertain as much as inform, although obviously entertainment is very important. But you know, I know Johnny Pugh just recently did a Let's Play with a new character, which was fantastic. And he had very specific design goals, I think, with that piece. And what I want to do is use the opportunities system and the tutorial system as kind of a trigger point for guidance. So see exactly how much information I can really distill into a video using the opportunities and whatnot as a helpful guide, because I was helping out my buddy a few weeks ago, and we were using the opportunity system, and I was talking to him, and honestly, the opportunity system's really good. It shows a lot of the things in the game, but the problem is that there is no narrator. There is no person that's actually explaining the thing to people. So I hope to fill in that gap. So expect to see that soon. I'm also working with the EOC.TV guy, so hopefully I'll be able to put some stuff up there. But either way, I'm really excited about it. So please, if you're interested in me talking about stuff, please go to at Ashterothi on Twitter, or come join us in the Tweet Fleet Slack. For those of you who don't know, I created the Tweet Fleet Slack, which is this nice area for collaborators to come together and talk about EVE. We've got all kinds of people there. So, go ahead and hit me up there, or hit me up on Twitter. I'm interested to hear what kind of things you want me to talk about. I'm interested to kind of tell more of my story. I've got a lot of stuff about Ashterothi and about other pieces of this whole basis, but it looks like this sanctum is over, which means I should about wrap it up. So I appreciate you hanging out for as long as you have, and thank you for coming on this journey with me. I think it's going to be really exciting. So, as I have said on Hydrostatic for several months now, remember, it is not how much SP you have, it's what you know.